doing something called the bolt cutter prayer. Okay, the bolt cutter prayer. If you have a Freemason in your family, if you believe that there's Masonic energy in your bloodline, and even if you're not sure, if you don't have a clue, which a lot of us won't have a clue, trust me when I say a lot of us going back in our bloodline will have Masonry in our family and we won't have a clue. Today, on this 420, we're going to be removing and doing the first things, taking the first steps towards removing this energy. Okay, so give me 1 second. We're gonna go bang this on. Cool. All right, people. So also, I've got a good close friend of mine, someone I've not physically met before, but someone who moderates for me in the chat, someone who has done this prayer and has helped remove Masonic energy from her bloodline. She's going to come and do a little testimony for us as well in a minute, all right? But first and foremost, I want to make it very clear. This video is about removing Masonic energy from the bloodline, okay? Using something called the bolt cutter prayer from a book called Unmasking Freemasonry by Selwyn Stevens. Unmasking Freemasonry by Selwyn Stevens. And if you want to watch an in-depth interview that I've done, if you check my Linktree in my Instagram or my TikTok and go down, you will see a video saying Unmasking Freemasonry. Check that interview out. He is the world leading person exposing Freemasonry, and I had the honor of working with him and interviewing him. Okay, cool. So I don't want to make this too long. If you're experiencing bulimia, anorexic energy, if the women in your family have crazy asthma, stomach problems, heart problems, mental health issues, schizophrenia, deep depression, if people are finding themselves very just like always in low energy, always finding themselves with mad health problems, yeah, always attracting to them negative people, there's a chance that there is a hex or a Masonic curse on your family and on your bloodline. And specifically, we're talking to the women, the wives and the daughters, the women that don't even have a clue. They're not even allowed into these lodges, okay? So this bolt cutter prayer, which I'm going to read out, is from the book. And I'm adapting it because this man he's written in his faith as a Christian. I'm adapting it and reading it so it's a universal prayer for all of us. And then afterwards, I'm going to have my sister Amy, who's just come into the call, just give a little 5-minute testimony about how after I shared this prayer with her, how it opened up her life, how it started to shift things. And I've had many people like Amy, and I say this without ego, I've had over 100 people like Amy who I've sent this prayer to, who believe that there may have been a Masonic energy in their family, and overnight shifts have happened. Overnight. I remember when I first ever learned about the bolt cutter prayer, I was with the Magna Carta sisters and one of their sons hadn't spoke to her for a while, and overnight he contacted her. It was like something was lifted and in the ether, energy could flow again. Yeah? So this is a very serious call on this so-called Easter holiday while we're all praying to this false white Jesus. I thought, let me do some of the real work here and help people to shift things. So Amy, just to prepare you, give me 5 minutes, let me read this out and I'm going to bring you in. 61 people on this call. Ashe. This is the bolt cutter prayer, spiritual bolt cutter prayer. Okay, page 6 from the book Unmasking Freemasonry by Selwyn Stevens. The spiritual bolt cutter prayer. Dear universe, I come to you in the name of my higher self, and I renounce and turn from all lies, all preconceptions, deceptions and self-deceptions, and all unteachablenesses that I or my ancestors have believed or entertained. That's the first section. I'm going to read the whole thing, and then we're going to do it. I'll read it twice, yeah? And then hopefully you can pause this and write it out yourself if you're interested. Dear universe, and by the way, you can read this out how you need to, in your own way. It could be to your ancestors, to your God, yeah? Dear universe, I come to you in the name of my higher self, or I come to you in the name of source energy, and I renounce and turn from all lies, all preconceptions, deceptions and self-deceptions, and all unteachablenesses that I or my ancestors have believed or entertained. I renounce all vows of secrecy and silence about all ungodly activity. I command every lying spirit and every spirit of deception, self-deception and unteachableness, and any other spirit associated with these sins to leave me now, harmless on my own natural breathing, and not to return to me or to whom anyone I love. in the name of the Most High, in the name of Jah, in the name of Allah, in the name of Muhammad, in the name of Joshua, in the name of my higher self, in the name of Archangel Michael, in the name of the universe and the cosmos and the ether, whatever it is, I do it in the name of that. I do it in the name of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, the mystic law, as a Buddhist. I come out of agreement with and renounce all shame, blame and guilt, all fear of failure, all fear of rejection, all fear of men, all fear of offending and ridicule, and all fear of not hearing the mystic law, the universe, whispering within me. I surrender all of these areas to my higher self, who is the true spirit of truth. Ashe. Okay? We'll read that one more time together, and then I'm going to bring on Amy, yeah? And this is only going to be a short one. I wanted to make sure that this information was out there, and so someone can at least, even if you're just listening to me say it, and you're asking the universe, this prayer is my prayer, I'm promising you it's going to bring shifts. So, let me see. Why am I crying already? Wow. BBFS. Why am I crying already? Soul sister. Someone said, did you come in dinner date? I was on dinner date, yeah, on ITV years ago. Dinner date. If you go onto ITV right now, Series 5, Episode 5, Sasha, it's on ITVX right now. You'll see my dinner date. I was only 21 years old, but I just wanted to go on it to talk about Buddhism. So that's on ITVX right now. I love you, Amy. I'll have you in a second, 100%. How can I get this to write it out? Well, I'm going to put this on my live. So this, I'm going to re-put this on my story. 100 people on this live right now. Amazing. I'm going to put this on my story, on my grid, and hopefully you can just rewrite it out. Yeah. So, can I do this as a man? You can, Mike's 100%. 100%. I've done it as a man on behalf of people as well. You know, specifically, it's the women that are the most spiritually damaged when the men of the Freemasons do these rituals, because it goes back to the divine portal of the women, which has to take all of the effect of the causes these men are making. But of course, as a man, you can do this as well. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any of this out. And then I'm going to read it one more time, and I'm going to bring my sister Amy in. And as I'm doing this, she's muting so many people. Thank you, sister. 125 people on this live right now. More life to you all. Yeah, I love you. All reflection. So one more time. This is a prayer that we say, and ideally you want to read it, do it on a full moon, ideally, but I would be doing it all the time. Do it on a full moon, ideally. Write it out and burn it as well. So this is a prayer to remove any energy from any Freemason in your bloodline. If you have a husband, a brother, an uncle, a great-grandfather, a great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, there will be effects on your health, your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual health. The way that you operate in life, especially as the women of the family, this is a way to remove this hex, remove these unteachable spirits that the Freemasons unravel on us when they do this. 179 people in the live right now. Wow. Janet said my husband was a Freemason. Well, Janet, more than anyone, because you would have entered this man, physically entered him, his body, and he's doing rituals on his body. Remember, just to become a first degree Freemason, first degree, not like the apprentice level, not just the first level degree, you got to put a noose around your neck, you got to cover your eyes and be hoodwinked, you got to expose your nipple, you got to have your ankles exposed, and you got to say to them, I remove my faith in Joshua or Jesus, and I will allow you to be the new leader of my life. That's what it means to be hoodwinked, so that when you remove the hoodwink, now the Masons are your new leaders. And you also say that if I reveal any of the secrets which happen here, you can kill me. This is what happens when you become just a first level degree Freemason. So I'm sorry to say it, but even the first degree Freemasons, which are walking around, talking about doing charities and going to like the school fairs and trying to recruit people, these are disgusting, pitiable characters which do nastiness in order to do better than their fellow man. That is what we're dealing with. And Janet just said, and his dad was a Grand Master. So his dad was a Grand Master. No doubt a 33-degree Freemason. I can't even begin to tell you what he's done in order to get to that level. And Janet, more than ever, you need to listen to this prayer. Nell just said, my brother and uncles were Freemasons. So, let me read this out. 1 second. Okay. Spiritual bolt cutter prayer, yeah? Someone said, wow, and you know all of this how? Through research. through research, through doing podcasts with countless children of parents of Freemasons, through interviewing Selwyn Stevens, the leading man on the planet that tours the world trying to disassociate people from Freemasonry. Someone said, do you think all Masons are satanic? At this current level, there's nothing. There's no place for Freemasonry in the age of Aquarius. There's no place for hidden, patriarchal, men-only meetings and white gloves in the age of Aquarius. There's absolutely no need. There's no need to put a hoodwink on and to put a noose around my neck. No way. Someone just said they are pure evil. How can my brother free himself spiritually? He can free himself spiritually by watching the interview that I did in my bio right now in my Linktree. Yeah. And that's how he can free himself spiritually, by starting the process of knowing what he's done, doing the bolt cutter prayer, which I'm going to read right now, and then I'm going to bring Amy on. So this is not too long. So 1 second. Bolt cutter prayer. I'm going to say this, and you can pray with me in your heart, okay? To my dear higher self, to my God, to the universe, to Jah, Muhammad, Allah, Joshua, however it is, you adapt it to yourself. To my higher self, I renounce from and turn from all lies, all preconceptions, deceptions and self-deceptions and all unteachablenesses that I or my ancestors have believed or entertained. I renounce all vows of secrecy and silence about all ungodly activities. I command every lying spirit and every spirit of deception, self-deception and unteachableness and any other spirit associated with these sins to leave me now, harmlessly on my own natural breathing, and not to return to me or anyone whom I love. I come out of agreement and renounce all shame, blame and guilt, all fear of failure, all fear of rejection, all fear of men, all fear of offending and ridicule, and all fear of not hearing my higher self whispering to me in my heart at all times. I surrender all of these areas to my higher self, to my God, to the universe. Ashe. So, I'm going to bring in Amy now. Amy, let me see where you are. So this is my good warrior friend, and she asked me to give her the bolt cutter prayer a year or two ago, and I just want her to just speak for a minute on it, just for a minute, about the experiences and the shifts she's felt by the intention behind the prayer. I am Cheyenne. The way you express yourself and teach is so eloquent and well-spoken. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, sister. All right, 1 second. Let me just find my sister. Amy. Oh, okay, here she is. Okay, invitation sent. Hopefully she's going to find this and she's going to share with you. Janet said, I'm crying. Janet, I love you, sister. Maybe send me a DM afterwards, man. Let me see if there's any space I can hold for you. And let me just see if my sister can come into this call. Let's all hold space for Amy. It's 4:20 right now in the UK, yeah? A so-called European Jesus was resurrected today. Oh, request again. I think I've just done it again. Here we go. Here we go, people.
We have. Hello. I'm going to keep my camera off, brother, if that's okay, but I am here.
Yeah, man. No, of course. All right, sister, yeah. Thank you, first of all, for being on this call. 70 people are just about to hear your little story, so it means the world to me.
It means the world to me as well. I cannot express the thanks and just pure love and joy I have for you, because if it wasn't for your guidance, lighting my lanterns, I wouldn't be here in the spiritual journey where I am now. And you know how long we've known each other for 5 years nearly, Indigo, and we still haven't touched hands. Do you know what I'm saying? But the way you have literally pulled me out the sunken place without even touching palms is a miracle. Now, this bolt cutting prayer was given to me nearly a year ago. A lot has changed in that year. What that bolt cutting prayer did, in a spiritual sense, people, it opened up my core. The spiritual blocks that had been put in my way that were not even in my power. I was born into this to cut these cords and blocks, right? This came from my grandmother on my dad's side and grandfather on my mum's side. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think they have any idea who they had associations with. But there was certain, especially with my, say, curse, which was affected, was mental health. Now, what us women do go through, and I vouch the men go through this just as much as the women, is spiritual warfare. And along with these rituals that the Freemasons do, is it casts out for spiritual warfare. And this could dampen somebody down until they choose to do something drastic to their being. Now, sometimes the magic of these Masons, they can just do it with talking. They sometimes don't need to lift a finger. So what we need to understand is how they work. So we have the knowledge of power like they do, for example. And even understanding where they're coming from. Like I watched your videos, for example, like you had the interviews with the Magna Carta sisters. I cannot express how helpful they are just for pure insight and how you can relate to, you know, association of this. You can see in the comments that there's certain bloodlines here that need shackles breaking. It will not just break shackles for you individually. This will break shackles for your aunties, your cousins. I've seen my auntie who is an elder and my cousin who is younger than me. Their life has become more free since I have done this prayer myself. This can cast one flick of a domino with the biggest tumble. Do you know what I mean? And what it does in your soul, your higher self state, it releases the shackles there first in the 5D, and then it ripples and affects into the 3D. And all you need to do is sit in your heart space with faith and trust. And exactly how you were saying, Indigo, whoever you are confiding in and making that relationship right now, I have my relationship with Yeshua. And even the text says Jesus Christ. You even said to me, read this in your interpretation. You gave me the open court with this prayer. And that's all that Indigo is giving everyone right now, people, is space, time, light, knowledge, power, and education. And this is why I like to mod for you, because I can't stress ignorance being a choice anymore. It makes me vex, makes me very vex. Us divine feminines are waking up to a lot, and we need to bring our masculines in. So a lot of my divine feminines and I have been breaking these shackles and basically these ancestral traumas from our great, 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 great grandfathers, who might not even realize what they were getting themselves into. But because of that choice, and especially, you know, the stories that I've heard about my family in the Caribbean, Indigo, like, you know, the silence and the secrecy of what actually goes on and who's related to who, there's a lot of trauma that goes on before they even came to the UK for the Windrush. This is all encoded in our DNA. Now, the age of Aquarius happening, what is happening is that shift in our DNA. And what we have to go along with is the process of it. You fight the current, you'll drown. If you go with the river, it will take you to where you need to go. And if you go within to start to understand where this is all coming from, it will become so much clearer on the outside. And like I said, it won't just knock the dominoes for your life. This will pave the new route for future generations, current and past. So my grandfather, for example, who has now passed, whatever his grandfather or great-grandfather did to keep his soul stay trapped here on earth, that's all I'm praying for, is he's set free to ascend. That's my prayer for him, to make sure he can go in peace now, because I'm doing the work here. With this awakening as well, the divine feminines are the ones who have to step forward first so we can let our sons follow. I've always followed you, Indigo. I've always been on your side, but you have led me to the path where I could be in this stage now. And I'm becoming more vocal. I'm becoming more expressive with my journey. So I appreciate you inviting me. I love you so much for that. But this is serious business, people. And stuff happens in the spiritual before it happens in the physical. And what you need to understand is the matrix part of it. When you figure out why we are being kept in this low vibration, mentioning the Freemasons, they are putting things in our faces to keep us low vibrational. When you know, when you have the power, you can rise above it. It's spiritual discernment. It doesn't matter who you praise. Spiritual discernment is the key right now. It's understanding your gut. And I tell you what, on behalf of so many of my soul brothers and sisters in this chat, I'm fed up of us second guessing our intuition. Go with that intuition, because your higher self talking to you, and your higher self and with your ancestors and the angels and then God. Do you know what I mean? There's a whole cheerleading squad above you and you don't even know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And people like yourself and even me becoming confident in that faith, because you know you've even seen my confidence grow, and I've confided in you about things that there's parts of my family don't know about these things, but trust is everything. We may not need to know each other for a long time, but like you say about the soul contract, when you know, you know. So if there's people around you you can confide in that won't give you that harsh judgment, please do confide in them, because you need that space. We need these spaces right now to be able to go, I am not going mental. That's what they want you to think. That is what they want you to think, and it's not the case, people. Like, you have to believe in your heart space, your gut, and it's the alignment of your inner self, of knowing this isn't just what it is. This is all in design to create this, and all we need to do is interrupt it. Just knowing about half of it has shifted so much, hasn't it? Even the time I've known you, the things you've spoken about has happened. Even the expose of now, the industry, everything you've gone through, you have fought through, is now being revealed to everyone. And I'll tell everyone, stick around, keep sticking around. It's seriously, we need these prayers as well, because they're so powerful. And what it did is it paved my way to Yeshua stronger. It made me realize that my energy could match Mary Magdalene, so I can find my man in Yeshua in my own family, in my man, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That inner union. Wow. And it takes that judgment away. When you actually bulk cut this prayer, it takes so much sin away. I'm going to just say judgment for one.
Well, as part of it, I think one of the prayer, let me have a quick look. One of the sentences is actually, let me have a quick look. It says, so it says here, I come out of agreement with and renounce all shame, blame, and guilt, all fear of failure, all fear of rejection, all fear of men, and all fear of offending and ridicule. So, like, how many people, like, believe what me and you are saying, but they're so nervous to offend other people and stuff. It's like, and that these are spells and hexes that keep us stopping from being our authentic self completely, or the fear of shame or rejection. All of these things, I suddenly realize, wow, I felt this my whole life. And then and then we do this prayer. And like you said, it's just, I think it's just the acknowledgement, even that maybe this Masonic energy has been involved. Just the acknowledgement of it is absolutely transformative, because you're actually finally, it's like we're the first one in the bloodlines for the veil to be lifted, and we can see what it was. It's like, otherwise, but for all of the other ancestors, they've just been suffering with no clue to why these things were happening. But it's us. We're the ones. We're the bolt cutters. But we have to face it. We have to see it. We need to understand it. And we need to have the courage. And we also need to walk with the Father and be able to expose things at the right time and have that confidence. You know, I'm not here to offend people or to say if you believe in Jesus, you're crazy. I'm just boldly know myself enough to be able to speak my truth, you know?
Exactly. And even saying, like, you know, I don't know what my depiction of Jesus is, but it's all in my mind's eye. That's all I can express. When I sit with Yeshua, it's like, I think I heard something like, how would you treat Yeshua if he was your husband? I did that for a week, and the self-love that came upon me is unexplainable.
Wow.
Unexplainable. And you know how earlier in your live, the live before this, you were saying about it's the embodiment of his behavior.
Yeah, it's in his character. It's in how he acted. It's how he lived, you know?
Yeah. Even
that's what it teaches.
Of having accountability of one's actions. So many people, so many of us cannot do this right now. That this is a restriction as well. It's pride, ego, fear. And when you go through this bolt cutting prayer, those things that you read out are a part of the sins of I, of oneself. Of, the judgment. Why do we sit there and judge, bitch, gossip? People don't realize this is hexing. This is sending out negative evil eye to everyone, when all we need to do is sit in our heart space. But people have been so detached from the heart space for, I think, generations now. We've been so detached, and what we need to do is understand what I like in my heart. Most people realize what is in their heart they were fearing to like, and they will become a different person from opening themselves up to this. But when this bolt cut in prayer happens and these new things and the old things end and the new things come in, accept it. That's all I can say, because you've asked for that change.
Yes.
That change. So if you go against it again, if you go against the current, you'll drown.
Yeah.
If you literally drift with the river and be willing, be on that bumblebee frequency of willingness, of drifting through that river, you will find that, especially the gift of Source, Yeshua, whoever you speak to, gives you in abundance. And abundance is the highest form of receiving unconditional love from Source. And you have to be in your heart space for that. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And you have to understand that it's not easy, and it's okay that some of this is hard, but the star is here from this bolt cut. Imagine you have a purple sword and you are slicing something that was literally harnessing your energy. And then you can call your energy back to you. I call all of mine, my ancestors, life and love back to my heart. And the day from the next day, I guarantee you. And it will change your family. Ask your family how they're doing in a couple of weeks' time after you've done it. Do it.
Amazing. Thank you, sister. You're incredible. And our journeys have just begun, man. We are the trailblazers of a whole new age. And so, I'm honored to stand by your side. And thank you for taking the time just to share your heart vulnerably, because it takes courage. So I love you.
I love you too. I'm so honored to be on your side as well. And here's to more years of fighting this, because I'm here to fight back. It's worth the fight. Yes. I love you, sister. Thank you. We'll speak soon. Someone in the comment just said, "What does my hand tattoo?" This is this was genuine henna from a Roman, a gypsy Indian in Goa. So that's what that is. But anyway, I hope that this helps someone. If you want some more direct guidance, you can chat to me personally. But I would just say, literally repeat the prayer, write it down, and start that process. Use your own instincts. All the information's here now. You like do it in your own way. Find your own connection with source energy, and start to take and have the dignity to just like start removing these hexes. Start removing this, because we are what we've been waiting for. Like me right here is the ancestors have their hands on my back and on your back. So and yours, Amy. I hope you know that. Amen to that, my brother. Our ancestors brought us together. That's the best part of it.
So, Amy, in the comments, some people have been saying that they've been crying since listening to this. And I would say, if someone's having like a release, even listening to what me and Amy are saying, that's because the work in the fifth dimension from that prayer is already moving. Because already in the third dimension, your biology is changing, it's shifting. That can only be something already shifting from the fifth dimension. So imagine when you do it yourself, when you actually fully infuse this ceremony, it's going to be profound. And a few people are saying that their husbands or partners or friends were Masons, and they're feeling quite overwhelmed that they've found themselves on this live right now. That's how the Most High works, man. It makes sure that you're there at the right time if you're ready to receive that information, if your ancestors need you to know this information. So yeah, more life. I love you all. I'll catch you this week at some point. Stay free, stay courageous, stay brave, be the lion that you always were, Peace, people.
Love you, brother.
Love you, sis.